Hello. I very much want to sit down, but I know that I need to give my back a little bit of a break, so this one is standing up. Something that I have been reflecting on a lot lately is the idea of the Tao, which it's funny because the sentence that the idea of the Tao is kind of what is the right word for it? Whatever. I think it's a little bit funny because there isn't a great way to describe the Tao other than yeah, I find the most pleasure, or not even necessarily pleasure, but the most feeling of this thing that is happening constantly, which indulging in that thing feels quite good, usually pleasurable, but sometimes awful. I find that when I am simply just doing, simply just experiencing, which at least my idea of the Tao is, I feel like there is nothing else to do, as opposed to when I am focusing on actually doing. When I think about the idea of doing, I'm thinking of doing something. It is like the idea of doing is doing. It's doing something. You're doing something. As opposed to, like, people can say the idea of the Tao is simply just doing. But really, I mean, the Tao is just, it's just, and there is no name. So, when I find myself attempting to just do, whether it's enjoying myself or trying to experience a moment or trying to build a specific future, trying to do something that makes me feel good for doing it, I find myself feeling so inclined to do something. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's something. I'm doing something. I feel like I'm doing something. It is honestly really, really hard most of the time. Sometimes it can feel great. Sometimes it can feel so gratifying, and that's great. I mean, I feel great about that. I feel great when I'm doing and it feels good. But I'm focusing on doing something, and that in itself is a pressure. It ends up feeling like I am either doing it right or wrong, when there really is no right or wrong. But when I give myself that illusion and I set up rules for myself within this game, as if I should be doing something in particular, I end up feeling like I'm doing something wrong. Or I could be doing something wrong and I need to keep myself on track so that I'm doing what is right. So then I think, okay, what is there to do then? To do nothing, or to do something, or to do nothing, or, and there is no name for it. And I can do this, and I never find myself doing this, because finding myself there in itself is doing it. So I can do this, or I simply can, not even can, I just and I think it's beautiful being able to have like this balance between these two things. And when I find myself swaying on one radical end rather than the other, well, I'll go on this end of doing, and I'll find myself like, I don't know what it is I should be doing, but I feel like I'm doing something wrong, or I feel like I'm doing something right and I need to keep doing this, or whatever it may be. I'm just doing. I feel like I'm doing something. I need to be doing something. And when I go too much on this end, I find myself, eventually I become consciously aware of it, and it pulls me back over here because now it's conscious. Now I'm thinking of it. Now I'm attempting to do this. And I take myself from here and put myself back over here. Now, if I want to find myself doing this, I will always find myself on the doing end, because there is no way to do this. There's only doing, and but trying to find an equal medium between the two, because I think there is a slight amount of conscious effort. There is a certain sense of surrender. So what I've been wanting to figure out is finding time in the day to give myself the opportunity to surrender and maybe possibly even just for a little bit feel this. And then snap myself back into the game and actually do. Purposely do. And the more and more I think about this idea, the more and more I think this is exactly what it is I should be attempting to do. Because not only am I able to grow within this physical world, within this mental world, the psyche, the conscious, I'm also able to unconsciously experience exactly what it is. Pretty much everything else in this world is unfolding, and it's this, and it feels great. And also sometimes it just feels like there's no way to categorize how it feels. It just feels, and that feels good to me, even if it feels bad. I don't know, it's funny, my mind is so persistent on wanting to try to put a label on it, how it feels, what it's like, so I can communicate a little bit more what it is this actually is. But so yes, I think there should constantly be this balance. And the funny part is, if I'm consciously trying to make this balance in between the two, I will constantly pull myself from over here and actually be doing it, because I'm trying to do this, and that's not how this works. But the times where I end up becoming consciously aware of this and I end up pulling myself back over here is when I become consciously aware of it, and then I remain consciously aware of it. I don't simply let the thought come and then go and then continue. The thought will come into my mind, and I'll become consciously aware of it and slowly pull myself. I'll slowly come from this end over to this one, because I'm consciously aware of this idea and what it is I'm experiencing, and now I'm pulling myself into the do, because now I'm trying to continue doing it. I'm afraid that I'm not doing it. All of these pressures come onto this thing, and now I'm nervous that what it is I'm doing is not this, and now I'm doing, now I'm actually doing, right? So I think what it is I'd like to pursue, at least with this end, is give myself time every day to do. And throughout the day, I want to stop doing and stop thinking about doing. Stop thinking about what it is I'm doing. Because, as I talk about this idea, I find myself scrambling all over the place and still having a hard time to put it into words. It feels damn near impossible to put it into words. But I think the more time I spend here, the more I'm able to actually bring it with me back over here and actually put it into words. The idea of a Zen master is like, okay, this person is like a master at Zen and the Tao and being in that way. But it's like, okay, so in this sense then, they've consciously practiced it. They've consciously tried to strengthen this ability to be able to take themselves from over here and just naturally be here. No, that doesn't seem right, because then what is it they're doing? They're doing something. They're doing it, right? But really, what I think it is they've understood to a certain degree how to not focus on doing, not focus on not doing, not necessarily do anything, but like simply just, and I think that's all it is. And I think the more you end up not even finding yourself here, but just simply being there, when you pull yourself back over here and end up trying to find where it was you just were, you find yourself closer and closer to more of a master of this idea. And I think the idea of being a master of Zen and a master of the Tao is a little silly, because I think that want in itself will consistently bear zero fruit other than finding yourself even more confused. But it's good, and I enjoy it, and I feel guilty, and I feel like laughing, and I feel like crying, and I feel and that feeling is good. And I think the more that I reflect and find myself previously over here, the more I feel like I'm living, and I'm not destroying myself over this. Because it's not to say you can't destroy yourself here. All the things are the same on this side as they are over here. They're all the same. But I think in order to be able to continue living your life and enjoying the things that you do, like I have expectations for myself. I have things that I want to do. I have places that I want to see. I have like a family that I want to build. I want to do so many things. I don't want to let go of these things. Because let's say I did let go of these things, solely to maybe, I'd find myself in places that, at least from here, I don't want to see myself. Which that's okay too. Like, if I completely and totally surrender to it and I cast out all of my fears, all of my desires, all of the things that, all of these expectations and like bare minimum necessities for myself, and I found myself only here. Not to say that I wouldn't be okay, but I think that, in this time round, I enjoy being here nearly just as much as I enjoy being here. Being able to put into words when I'm back here feels so good too. So not only can I, but also I can do this and consciously pull back some of this back over here to me when I'm actually doing it. And slowly this gap in between these two becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And I think I find myself consciously doing, but understanding that at the same time So I decided to make this video because I wanted to put it into words, and sometimes talking to a camera and seeing myself, and I know I'm looking down at my laptop this whole time to see this camera angle, but it helps me actually figure out what it is I'm even looking at, how it is this actually looks. I think that I am no Zen master. At least, I think that I am, at this point in time, I don't share the qualities that, let's say, like Alan Watts has, his ability to simply just be there, but also be doing an act that is putting into words what it is that is actually happening here. So, with that, understood, I mainly just wanted to make this video not necessarily to teach as he does, but to get it more clear into words what it is I'm even experiencing. It feels nice talking to an audience and actually feel as if I'm not just talking to myself. And I know if the camera was off, it'd be pretty much the same exact thing, but I think when the camera is on, I find myself saying different words. I find myself doing something different. And that's why the camera is on right now. Anyway, to go back more into this realm, I did make a video yesterday. I got home, I was thinking about making a video, and yeah, I was just like, I wouldn't say I was tired, because I ended up still staying up and watching a movie and, just enjoying myself, but, I found myself, not really wanting to make a video last night. So I think I started the movie and I actually said to myself, I was like, okay, I don't want to film one. I just don't feel like talking. So, and I just kind of want to watch this movie. I want to watch this movie. So here's this movie, and here's me watching the movie. And I filmed that for probably about 8 minutes before I decided I cannot consciously take my mind off of the fact that I'm watching this movie and recording myself while doing it. I'm thinking about how this looks, what it is I should be saying, whatever. This is ruining this moment for me, so I stopped doing it. And yeah, and I went on with my night. And I found trouble sleeping last night too. Yes, but yesterday was good. I did some good work. I did a lot of things that I wanted to do. Yeah, I got to so many times throughout the day yesterday. Especially there was this one moment where I was gonna go to the sauna, and then I wanted to see the girl. So I was gonna go do that. She texted me. She's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I called her and I told her I was about to go to the sauna, and then I was gonna see if you wanted to do something with me. She's like, "I'm in Nijharn right now, which is the beach that's really close by that you can watch the beautiful sunset from. And me and my friends are swimming. Come swim with us." So I went there and swam with them, and the sky was pink, and the water from the ocean was reflecting that beautiful pink hue. And yeah, and I found myself just like, you know, when I'm in the ocean, I feel like a kid. Sometimes I feel like a kid again, because I can just like jump around and just be silly and make mistakes and like get my heart pumping and be within this like big body that is all one, which is this giant body of water. Yeah, and that felt really good. And then after that I dried off, and I dried off, and then I went to the sauna. And after the sauna I got dressed up and went to work at Vibes and worked there for about an hour and a half. And then after that I went and played pool for a little bit and talked with this lovely bar girl I like talking with. And then I went home and struggled to sleep. Yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. And yeah, it was a good day. But yes, having a better idea of what it is I actually want. I don't just want to do. I don't just want to find myself doing constantly, consciously doing. I enjoy like finding myself here. My favorite part about it all is, it's funny, like when you end up finding yourself here, you very much pull yourself back over here. But if you continue practicing like this, like Zen state of flowing in between the two, like, and I said this already, but this gap like closes, and you end up finding yourself here so much more often. Here often, you find yourself here, and you let that thought of understanding you're here come and then go, and you're here again. But yeah, I have a couple things I want to do today. I want to, I think I want to pack the bag completely. I want to figure out exactly what it is I'm going to bring today. I need to pay off a speeding ticket that I got in America, like, almost like, it was during my brother and my sister-in-law's wedding. While driving out there, I forget when it was. I think it was like sometime in February and March. But anyway, it's been like nearly a year I have to pay this fucking money off. $236. which that feels like so much money now. Like, of course, it felt like a lot of money before. Like, $200 is not a small amount of money. But how far it goes here, that feels like so much money. Yeah. So, but I want to do that, and then I want to do a little bit of digital work and do a little bit of designing for the agency, and I want to go take some more photos. I want to use the sauna. I want to maybe work out. I want to maybe watch the sunset again, and I want to journal a little bit more. I want to do today. I also want to watch that movie, which I think after I'm done filming this, I might lay down and watch that movie a little bit more, because it's what I feel like doing. Yeah. But, yeah, if you're getting into these kind of things, I mainly, like, indulge in, like, consumption of somebody describing it by listening to Alan Watts. Alan Watts is just amazing. So if you want to know more about it, which I'm sure if you're already into it, you know damn well who Alan Watts is. Yeah, I hope this was a little bit interesting to watch. I'm sure that it actually felt like a whole bunch of hoopla to anybody that doesn't find themselves here and then thinking about it over here. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this day if you were alive today on December 5th, 2023. It is 2:52 p.m. right now, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.